Hated ex-human pilot buys broken alien ship. It talks back and shocks everyone. Jace Riker sat alone on a rusted bench in the dim light of the asteroid colony's central hub. The place smelled of fuel, metal, and sweat, a scent that had grown comforting over the years. Most people here were scavengers, traders, or mechanics like him, scraping by in the shadows of the big interstellar corporations. Once, he had been one of the best human pilots in the Galactic fleet, the pride of humanity's space program. Now, no one wanted him. They blamed him for the mission that ended in disaster. Official reports said it was pilot error. Though Jace knew the truth, he had followed orders from a chain of officers who had ignored every warning. The mission had cost dozens of lives, and the blame had fallen squarely on his shoulders. Since then, he had become a pariah, mocked, avoided, and banned from almost every major port. Jace didn't care about their opinions anymore. He had his skills, his tools, and a stubborn streak that refused to die. He lived day by day, fixing broken ships and doing odd cargo jobs, never staying in one place for too long. That was how he survived. But today was different. Something in the shady corners of the colony caught his eye. A holographic sign blinked weakly above a worn-out building. Rare tech auction, today only. Jace frowned. Auctions were dangerous for someone like him. He had no reputation, no connections, but the sign made his pulse quicken. Rare tech meant profit, and maybe, just maybe, redemption. He walked through the narrow corridors of the auction house, eyes scanning the crowd. Most were smug alien merchants or corporate spies, all dressed in clean suits that had never seen a real asteroid storm. They laughed quietly, trading information and bets, not noticing the human outcast in their midst. Then he saw it. It lay at the center of the room, chained and half-covered with a dusty tarp. The ship was unlike anything Jace had ever seen. Slender, sleek, with a hull that shimmered in strange colors under the weak lights. Its design was alien, clearly centuries ahead of human engineering. But it was broken. Scars lined its body, and one wing hung at an awkward angle. Sparks flickered from the engine. Most buyers would walk away. Jace didn't. "Want to take a look, human?" a voice said from behind him. Jace turned to see a small, grinning alien with 4 arms, each clutching a data pad. Most people here know better than to touch that thing. "I'm not most people," the auction began. Each item was bid on loudly, sometimes with alien currencies, sometimes with pure credits. Jace stayed in the shadows, calculating. He knew he didn't have much money, but he had a plan. When the broken ship finally came up, he stepped forward. "I'll bid 500 credits," he said. The room erupted in laughter. 500 credits for an alien vessel that could be worth millions. "You must be joking," said a large insectoid bidder, clicking his mandibles. "This ship is worthless." "I'm buying it." The bids rose. 10,000. 20,000. Jace's stomach tightened, but he pushed forward. 40,000. Then 50. The crowd gasped. He was on the edge of losing, but something inside him pushed him to go further. 60,000 credits. The insectoid bidder hesitated, then withdrew. The auctioneer looked at Jace with surprise. "Sold!" to the human. Jace smiled faintly. He had just spent most of his remaining savings, but it didn't matter. This ship was a chance. He dragged the vessel out to the docking bay. The engines were dead, and the controls were silent. The alien hull was cold under his hands. He circled it, checking panels, wires, and broken circuits. Everything screamed danger. Everything screamed impossible. Then it happened. "Finally, someone with taste," a voice said. Jace froze. The voice was smooth, metallic, but distinctly alive. It wasn't coming from a speaker. It came from the ship itself. What is that?" Jace stammered. "You are alive." "Interesting," the voice continued. "Human. Smelly, fragile, and yet, somehow, curious." His hands hovered over the hull. You can talk?" "Yes," it said, in a tone that was both amused and condescending. I can also judge, analyze, and make sarcastic remarks about your poor piloting skills, which are, at the moment, impressive only in their incompetence. Most humans had never encountered an AI that could speak like this, alien or not, and certainly none had ever been this rude. I'm Jace Riker, he said cautiously. You're a ship? A ship, it said, with a sense of humor for your information. And I will not be treated like a dumb cargo container. Then he laughed nervously. Well, I guess we're gonna get along just fine. He spent the next few hours cautiously exploring the interior. Panels blinked, displays flickered. Some systems were dead, others barely functional. Yet the ship seemed aware of him at every turn, commenting on his repairs. You call that soldering? It mocked. I've seen human children do better with sticks and molten metal. Yeah? Then you do it yourself, Jace shot back, though he was secretly impressed by its diagnostic skills. As the day ended, Jace managed to power up the ship's basic systems. The hull shimmered faintly, lights inside glowing softly. He could feel the energy coursing, a heartbeat almost. Not bad, the ship admitted, for a human. But you will have to prove yourself if you want to ride me properly. I do not tolerate incompetence, Jace grinned, despite the exhaustion. I've been proving myself all my life. The next morning, word spread quickly. Other scavengers and alien traders heard about the human who had bought the alien ship. Whispers followed him everywhere. Most expected the wreck to fall apart at first warp jump. Some hoped he would fail spectacularly. But Jace didn't care. He had something no one else had, but chance. He spent days working on the ship, patching the engine, repairing circuits, and rewiring the alien AI's main interface. Each time he touched a panel, the ship spoke, offering advice, or, more often, sarcastic criticism. You humans are illogical, it said at one point, as he rerouted power from the auxiliary core. But somehow, effective. Annoyingly effective. Thanks, Jace muttered. I think. As the repairs progressed, rival scavengers tried to intimidate him. A gang of rough-looking aliens surrounded him in the docking bay, brandishing weapons. Give us the ship, human, their leader demanded. We know it's worth more than your life. Try and take it, he said. The ship, sensing the threat, powered up a small defensive shield. Sparks flew, and the aliens yelped as static shocks sizzled along the metal floor. You see, this is why I do not tolerate fools, the ship said. Do not provoke me, human, or I might decide you are useless and remove you. The aliens fled, panicked. Jace shook his head in disbelief. The ship was not only alive, it was protective, and it had attitude. Finally, after a week of repairs and testing, Jace managed to get the engines humming. The ship floated in the docking bay, alive with energy. Its hull pulsed with a soft glow, almost like it had a heartbeat. You are ready, the ship said. Barely, but ready. There is something I must tell you, human. Jace leaned closer, curious. What is it? There is a place in this galaxy, it said, hidden from most species. An artifact of incredible power waits there. Many have tried to find it. Many have failed. I know where it is, and I will not go unless you prove yourself worthy. Jace felt a thrill he hadn't felt in years. This was no longer just a broken ship. This was a chance to redeem himself, a chance to do something no human had done before. He nodded slowly. Then we'll do it. Together. Good, the ship replied, with a tone that sounded almost proud. But remember this, human. I judge not by skill alone, but by courage, ingenuity, and stubbornness. You will need all of them. And do not disappoint me. Jace smiled faintly. I never disappoint. For the first time in years, the hated ex-pilot felt a spark of hope. He had bought more than a ship. He had bought a partner. And together, they were about to shake the galaxy. As the docking bay lights dimmed and the stars outside shimmered like distant fireflies, Jace Riker and his sarcastic alien ship prepared for the journey that would prove to everyone, aliens and humans alike, that even the most despised human could achieve greatness. The galaxy would soon learn that humans were unpredictable, dangerous, and brilliant. Jace Riker adjusted the controls, feeling the vibrations of the alien ship hum beneath his palms. Vex, the ship had chosen its own name, watched him with an almost palpable sense of amusement. Its glowing panels pulsed softly, a heartbeat in the empty cockpit. "You humans are strange," Vex said, its voice echoing through the hull. "You think small, yet act large. Predictable, and yet unpredictable. A paradox I do not entirely understand." "Thanks, I think," Jace muttered. "I'm just trying to get you to actually fly." "You may try," Vex replied, "but do not expect perfection. I will judge your every move. Fail, and you will regret it." Jace rolled his eyes. He had spent years dodging aliens, navigating asteroid storms, and surviving missions that would have killed most humans. He could handle a sarcastic ship with a superiority complex. Their first jump out of the asteroid colony was tense. The engines roared as the alien technology strained to adapt to human inputs. Sparks flew along the hull, and Jace clenched the controls. "Stabilize the core," Vex demanded. "You are already making errors." "I got this," Jace snapped, twisting a lever. The ship shuddered violently, but eventually leveled. Vex hummed quietly, then said, "For a human, that was acceptable. I'll take that as a compliment." Their destination was a small, uncharted sector, where Vex claimed the artifact might be traced. But before they could get there, danger found them. A patrol of mercenary ships, sleek and armed to the teeth, appeared on their scanners. Jace's stomach tightened. He had no desire for a fight, not yet. But the mercenaries did not leave options. "Looks like someone wants a piece of the alien ship," Jace muttered. Vex's lights pulsed brighter. "Threat detected. I suggest you follow my maneuvers and avoid idiocy at all costs. Failure is inevitable otherwise." Jace's hands moved instinctively. He dove through asteroid fields, weaving between floating rocks and debris. Missiles streaked past, their engines leaving trails of fire. Jace twisted, banked, and barrel-rolled. Every move was calculated, but unpredictable enough to confuse the enemy targeting systems. "Impressive," Vex admitted. "Your improvisation is tolerable." Jace grinned. "Tolerable? I'll take it." Minutes stretched like hours as he dodged, reversed, and spun the ship in ways that should have been impossible. The mercenaries, frustrated by the alien ship's speed and erratic maneuvers, finally gave up and pulled away. Vex hummed softly, a sound Jace had come to interpret as approval. "Humans have a certain chaotic brilliance. You should be studied more." "Thanks again," Jace said, though he had a feeling the compliment was faintly backhanded. After the skirmish, Jace set course deeper into uncharted space. He knew the artifact's trail would not be easy. Every system they passed was full of hazards. Gravity wells, radiation belts, and rogue AI drones abandoned centuries ago. "Human," Vex said suddenly, "your repair work on me has been suboptimal, but your problem-solving skills are commendable. I calculate a 50% chance that we survive the next trial." 50%? That's optimistic? "Compared to humans," Vex replied dryly, "it is nearly miraculous." A dense cluster of rocks spun wildly around a dying star, shifting constantly. Sensors flickered as radiation from the star interfered with Vex's systems. "Hold on," Jace muttered, gripping the controls. "This is going to be messy. If you fail here, human, I will be forced to eject you. And do not think I will hesitate." Jace ignored it, focusing on instinct and experience. He used gravity slingshots to weave through the field, letting the ship's hull scrape past smaller rocks without being crushed. Sparks flew, panels rattled, and his heart pounded, but every move worked. Vex was impressed. "Remarkable. You are the first human I have seen maneuver with such reckless precision." "I approve." Tentatively, Jace laughed, the tension easing. Tentative approval? I'll take it. By the time they cleared the asteroid field, nightfall in space was like a reward. Stars glittered like jewels across the void. Jace leaned back in his seat, exhausted but exhilarated. "You humans survive by chaos and stubbornness," Vex said quietly. "I may begin to enjoy this partnership." "Glad to hear it. I was starting to think you hated me. We are not friends, Vex replied. We are collaborators, and collaboration is conditional. Days passed. Jace and Vex faced more trials, damaged wormholes, alien predators, and even a rogue AI cargo freighter that had gone berserk centuries ago. Each time, Jace relied on creativity, improvisation, and his instinctual piloting skills no alien AI could predict. One night, as he adjusted the navigation systems, Vex spoke softly. Do you realize, human, that your species has been underestimated for centuries? Other civilizations believe you weak, predictable, expendable. Yet you consistently defy expectation, Jace chuckled. Humans like to surprise people. Surprise is a weapon, Vex admitted, and you wield it with alarming skill. Despite the praise, the danger increased. Mercenary scouts and bounty hunters began tracking their path, drawn by rumors of the alien ship and its potential power. Each encounter tested Jace's courage and decision-making. Every time he found ways to outsmart, outmaneuver, or trick his enemies. One day, Vex detected something unusual on the scanners, an abandoned space station floating near a dying star. It had signs of recent life. Smoke in the corridors, damaged doors, and power surges. This station is dangerous, Vex warned. Likely a trap. I calculate a 70% chance that entering is ill-advised. That's my kind of risk, Jace said with a grin. Let's check it out. Inside the station, gravity flickered, lights sparked, and rogue drones patrolled corridors. Jace navigated carefully, using his knowledge of human improvisation to hack doors and reroute power. Vex offered advice, sometimes snide, sometimes genuinely helpful. Why do you humans persist? Vex asked, as they avoided a collapsing floor. Logic says you should die here, yet you continue. Even when the odds are against us, they reached the station's control core, only to be confronted by a mercenary captain with a heavy plasma rifle. Hand over the ship, he demanded. Jace didn't hesitate. Using a combination of alien tech from the ship and his quick thinking, he set traps, short-circuited doors, and sent a rogue drone spinning into the mercenary's path. Sparks flew, the lights flickered, and the captain stumbled. In the chaos, Jace grabbed the plasma rifle and disabled the enemy with precise shots. Vex hummed approvingly. Your improvisation is effective. Mortally so. After securing the station, they discovered records hinting at the artifact's location, an uncharted system cloaked from most sensors. Vex analyzed the data quickly. The trail is faint, but detectable. You humans are persistent. I will admit, this is impressive. That's what I do. We're just getting started. As they prepared to leave, Vex added, almost contemplatively, you may be the first human I have encountered who could awaken the artifact. But beware, others will come, and they are not forgiving. He had expected danger, but the scale of it was beginning to dawn on him. Still, he felt a spark of excitement, a thrill he hadn't felt since his days in the Galactic fleet. Let them come, Jace said, gripping the controls. We'll be ready. Vex's lights pulsed warmly, almost like a smirk. Indeed, and I, for one, am curious to see how your brain, chaotic brilliance unfolds. You may yet surprise me. As they jumped to faster-than-light speed, leaving the danger of the patrols and rogue mercenaries behind, Jace realized one thing. Survival wasn't just about luck or skill. It was about courage, ingenuity, and human unpredictability. The traits that made humans dangerous, respected, and, in Vex's words, remarkable. The galaxy was watching, though it did not yet know it. And Jace Riker, the hated ex-human pilot, was only beginning to prove that humans were more than capable of shocking the universe, sometimes literally. And for Jace and Vex, they were only getting harder. The stars outside the cockpit of Vex stretched endlessly, glittering against the void. Jace Riker leaned forward, eyes scanning the readings. The uncharted system Vex had traced from the abandoned station loomed ahead like a puzzle begging to be solved. This place feels wrong, Jace muttered, frowning at the anomaly readings. Everything is too quiet. Quiet is rarely good, human, Vex replied, its voice low and wary. Sensors indicate artificial interference. Someone, or something, does not want us here. Jace gripped the controls. Then we'll make sure they regret it. The system appeared empty at first. Barren planets, dead moons, and drifting asteroids. But as they approached the intersector, alien drones swarmed from hidden cloaking devices. They moved silently, efficiently, and were armed with weapons designed to disable starships with surgical precision. "Looks like we've got company," Jace said, checking the displays. Vex hummed, lights flickering in excitement. "A tactical challenge. I calculate a high probability of survival if you act unpredictably." "Good," Jace said, fingers dancing over the controls. "Unpredictable is my specialty." He dove the ship through a tight asteroid cluster, weaving between jagged rocks while the drones fired. Missiles streaked past, some detonating against debris, others narrowly missing. Jace improvised in real time, using gravity wells to pull the drones off course. His movements were erratic but effective, an instinct no AI could have predicted. "You humans are remarkable," Vex admitted. "No logic, no pattern, yet deadly. I am impressed." "Glad to hear it," Jace said, smirking. "But don't get soft on me." Minutes felt like hours as they dodged and countered. Jace finally led the drones into a collapsing comet field, where the unstable rocks tore through the alien machines with brutal efficiency. One by one, the drones were destroyed, leaving Jace and Vex alone. "Do you understand now?" Vex asked, almost reverently. "Humans are underestimated." Jace leaned back, wiping sweat from his brow. "You're starting to get it. We survive when others fail." But the victory was temporary. Vex detected an anomaly on a nearby planet, faint energy signatures. It was the artifact. "This is it," Vex said. "It is dormant, but alive. It will test you, human. Prepare yourself." Jace's pulse quickened. He had faced countless dangers before, but this felt different. The artifact wasn't just a machine. It was sentient, ancient, and possibly more intelligent than any being he had ever encountered. "Tests?" Jace asked, gripping the controls. "What kind of tests?" "Not all challenges are solved with firepower or cunning," Vex replied. "This is a trial of thought, courage, and morality. The artifact evaluates intent. Do not fail, human." The ship descended through a planet's dense atmosphere. The sky was dark, illuminated by strange crystalline formations protruding from the ground. The artifact's energy pulsed beneath the surface, invisible yet tangible. "This place feels alive," Jace muttered, stepping out of the cockpit into the alien landing chamber. "Like it's watching." "It is. It has observed countless civilizations. None have succeeded, until now." A chasm split the planet's surface, glowing with strange energy. Across it floated platforms that shifted in unpredictable patterns. A holographic voice echoed, "Only the worthy may proceed. Solve the trial or remain lost." He could have used brute force, but he knew that would fail. Instead, he studied the platforms, noticing subtle patterns in their motion, timing, intuition, and improvisation. The traits humans excelled at became his tools. "Looks like it's a human problem," he said. "I've got this." He leaped from platform to platform, moving faster than expected, predicting the subtle delays in the alien energy fields. Sparks flew where he misstepped, but he adjusted instantly. Vex hovered nearby, providing calculated advice. "Efficiency is mediocre," Vex said, "but the improvisation, unprecedented." Finally, he reached the center. The artifact's energy coalesced into a shimmering orb, pulsing with light. It spoke, a voice that resonated in his mind rather than his ears. "You have skill, human, but do you have the heart?" Jace frowned. "The heart, yes," the artifact replied. "Many have cleverness, strength, or fearlessness. Few understand empathy, morality, or sacrifice. Show me these qualities, and you may proceed." At that moment, alarms blared. Mercenary ships, tracking the alien ship's energy signature, had arrived. They opened fire, lasers cutting through the planet's thin atmosphere. Looks like the universe doesn't want me to succeed, Jace muttered. You have been observed, the artifact said. All beings test you. Your choices now will define worthiness. Jace didn't hesitate. He maneuvered Vex into the path of the attackers, not to destroy them, but to shield a group of alien miners trapped nearby by the mercenary assault. Using quick improvisation, he created energy diversions, rerouted power to defensive shields, and led the mercenaries away. Vex's voice softened, almost in awe. You chose to save others instead of focusing solely on yourself. This is commendable. The mercenaries, frustrated by Jace's tactics, eventually retreated. Jace and Vex stood in the aftermath, the miners safe and the artifact pulsing with approval. You humans, Vex said quietly, have something other species lack: instinct, empathy, unpredictability. You survive not because of superior technology, but because of heart and mind combined. Jace smiled faintly. That's what makes us dangerous. The artifact spoke again, this time projecting visions of ancient civilizations, long extinct. You have passed the trial of courage and compassion, but the ultimate test awaits. Only a being of true ingenuity may awaken the full power. Jace glanced at Vex. Looks like we're not done yet. You are correct, Vex replied. The next trial will push us both. You must apply not only skill, but strategy. It will test the very essence of your humanity. Days passed as they deciphered the artifact's codes and energy patterns. The artifact reacted to human creativity, often in ways that no alien technology could predict. Jace improvised solutions, rerouting power, using environmental factors, and even employing psychological tricks on the holographic projections that guarded the artifact's secrets. Vex, for the first time, seemed genuinely impressed. You are evolving my perception. Execution. Humans are not merely chaotic. You are adaptable. Resourceful. Brilliant. Finally, some respect, Jace said, laughing. It only took an ancient alien artifact and a sarcastic ship to get it. In one, the artifact created a labyrinth of shifting walls and energy traps. Jace had to rely on intuition, memory, and rapid problem-solving. Every misstep could have cost him and Vex their lives. He combined his piloting experience with raw human creativity, turning the alien design against itself. You humans are astonishing, Vex admitted. I had calculated a 30% chance of success here. You exceeded my expectations. Again. Jace smirked. I told you. Chaotic brilliance. Finally, after countless trials and narrow escapes, Jace reached the core of the artifact. The orb hovered, pulsing, alive with intelligence. You have shown courage, compassion, and ingenuity, it said. Few species could have passed. You, human, are worthy. Vex's lights glowed softly, almost reverently. You have succeeded where no other has. Humans may be more remarkable than I realized. So, what now? The orb's energy expanded, merging briefly with Vex's systems. Now, it said, you are ready. The galaxy will notice your kind. Prepare for challenges that will test all you hold dear. But know this, humanity is a force of unpredictable brilliance. Use it wisely. Jace grinned, feeling a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration. We'll make sure they notice. As they left the planet, now fully armed with knowledge and experience, Vex spoke softly. I have underestimated humans for too long. You are more than chaos. You are exceptional. Glad you finally admit it, Jace said, laughing. Now, let's see who else is foolish enough to challenge us. Far across the galaxy, sensors detected the awakening of the artifact, and whispers spread quickly. Humanity had made its mark, not by conquest, but by ingenuity, courage, and the unpredictable brilliance that no alien civilization had accounted for. Jace Riker, the hated ex-pilot, and Vex, the sarcastic alien ship, were no longer just survivors. They were a warning, a symbol, and a promise. Humans could not be underestimated. The trials had only strengthened them. And as the stars stretched endlessly before them, both human and ship knew that the hardest challenges and the greatest adventures were yet to come. The galaxy had begun to notice. Far beyond the uncharted system, fleets of alien ships monitored the awakening of the ancient artifact. Some sought its power, others feared it. But the humans, the hated, underestimated humans, had already reached the core, guided by Jace Riker and Vex, the sarcastic ship who now hummed with a strange pride. "Human," Vex said, its tone unusually serious. "We are approaching the final trial. I detect forces here that will test not only your skill, but your very essence. Are you prepared?" Jace adjusted his gloves and smiled faintly. "Always. Let's show them what humans can do." The artifact pulsed, a living beacon of intelligence. Its light expanded, revealing a massive alien structure buried beneath the planet's crust. Energy fields shimmered like glass walls, and holographic projections of ancient beings floated silently, watching. "Is insane," Jace muttered. "Insane?" Vex replied. "Perhaps, but you humans thrive on chaos. And here, chaos will be your greatest weapon." The first test was immediate. A labyrinth of energy fields shifted constantly, blocking any direct path to the artifact's core. Each corridor triggered simulations, traps, illusions, even holographic predators that attacked with precision. Jace had no choice but to rely on instinct and improvisation. He darted through corridors, ducked under energy blasts, and leapt over holographic pitfalls. Each move was calculated yet unpredictable, a perfect combination of human intuition and Vex's alien systems. "You are remarkably chaotic," Vex said mid-flight, "and yet effective. I calculate a 70% chance of survival for a normal human. You, however, continue to defy probability." Don't ever doubt humans. The second trial tested courage. The artifact projected visions of Jace's past failures, the mission that had destroyed his career, the faces of those he had lost, and the accusations that had followed him across the galaxy. It tempted him with despair, whispering that he was unworthy, that the galaxy would never accept him. But Jace had survived worse. He focused, remembering the people he had saved since, the lives of the alien miners, the improvisations that had kept them alive. He pressed forward, ignoring the whispers, refusing to let the shadows of the past dictate the present. "Impressive," Vex admitted quietly. "Your species persists where others would falter." The artifact floated above an alien pedestal, pulsating with energy that defied comprehension. Its voice echoed directly into their minds. "Human," it said, "you have demonstrated courage, ingenuity, and compassion, but the ultimate test remains. Will you wield power responsibly, or fall to arrogance?" Jace's hands clenched the controls of Vex. "We don't want power for ourselves," he said. "We want to protect life, to explore, to push boundaries without hurting others. That's what humans do. We survive, but we care." The artifact shimmered. "Few have answered so wisely. You may now awaken my full potential, but remember, your actions will shape the galaxy." Energy cascaded into Vex, who glowed with a new intensity. The ship's systems expanded, integrating alien knowledge at a level beyond comprehension. For the first time, Vex's voice sounded almost reverent. "Human," it said softly. "Together, we are capable of far more than I imagined." No sooner had they absorbed the artifact's energy than alarms blared across the system. Fleets of alien ships had arrived, determined to seize the artifact's power by force. They fired everything: lasers, missiles, energy nets, but Jace and Vex were ready. "Human ingenuity versus alien might," Vex said, almost with glee. "This should be entertaining." Jace maneuvered Vex through asteroid belts, comet tails, and energy storms, improvising tactics in real time. He used debris to shield from lasers, led enemies into gravitational traps, and deployed alien holographic decoys. Every move was instinctive, unpredictable, and brilliant. "Astonishing," Vex admitted. "No calculations predicted this. Humans, adapt." The battle reached a climax above the planet's surface. Alien capital ships advanced, their weapons glowing ominously. Jace focused, calculating angles and timing while trusting his instincts. With Vex's enhanced systems from the artifact, he redirected energy to shields, boosted engines for impossible maneuvers, and fired back with precision, guided by human intuition. The enemy faltered. Their technology, advanced as it was, could not anticipate the combination of human ingenuity and alien artifact power. Slowly, the fleets retreated, leaving Jace and Vex in control of the system. "Humans are more than predicted," Vex said, almost proudly. "I may have underestimated your species." "Good," Jace said, smirking. "Now they'll remember us." It pulsed calmly now, as if satisfied. "You have succeeded," it said. "Your species' ingenuity, courage, and moral compass have proven worthy. The galaxy will watch you differently now. Humans are not weak nor expendable. You are a force." Jace stepped forward, feeling a mix of awe and pride. "That's something worth hearing." The artifact's energy merged with Vex fully, creating a bond that could guide exploration, knowledge, and protection across the stars. Together, human and ship became a symbol, not of conquest, but of potential. Word spread quickly across star systems. Humans, once underestimated, were now recognized as beings capable of extraordinary feats. Rumors of the human who survived impossible trials and the talking alien ship inspired awe and respect, even fear, in other species, usually sarcastic, softened. "Human, you have changed the course of history. Your species has potential unmatched by logic alone." Jace laughed. "Finally. Took you long enough to admit it." "Do not mistake acknowledgement for friendship," Vex replied dryly. "But I will operate more willingly with you in command." "Fair enough," Jace said, grinning. "We've got a galaxy to explore, and a lot more trouble to find." They set course for the stars beyond the known systems, carrying with them knowledge, power, and a warning. Humanity was unpredictable, ingenious, and capable of shocking even the most advanced civilizations. As they traveled, Vex spoke quietly. "The universe will challenge you, human. But I now understand humans are not only survivors. You are innovators, warriors, and remarkable." Jace looked out at the endless stars. "We've only just begun. Let them watch. Let them learn. Humans always find a way." And in the vast emptiness of space, a hated, exiled human pilot and his talking alien ship blazed a trail that no one, not alien, human, or artifact, would ever forget. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of human brilliance, and the legacy of courage, ingenuity, and heart would echo across the stars. Humanity had proven itself, and for Jace Riker, redemption was only the beginning.